So we've come down to P&H Motorcycles Adventure Day here in Crawley, which is a special day they've organised for a few customers to test out some alternative and some of the latest adventure bikes on the market. And we thought it would be a great way to put our new camera bike, the Triumph Explorer, through its paces. But not just for that reason, because we're also here to catch up with our man Austin Vince, just back from Mondo Sahara, travelling just thousands of miles throughout the desert, and a proper adventure biker, I'd say.
Well, you're very kind, Luke. But yeah, it's a great thrill to be here and to be able to get a look at what the latest kind of adventure bikes are. So it's a new world for me. I'm not from the kind of high-speed, expensive, brand new, massive motorcycle thing. I'm used to a more manageable, smaller bike. So I'm very keen to see what the industry is telling us we should be riding.
Now, I'm guessing your bike would have massive advantages in the off-road scenarios, being lighter and being a proper off-road bike. But of course, most people who buy these bikes do a lot of commuting on the road. So how is your bike going to fare against that? It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, the DR350 that I've got is, I live in West London, and around town, a bike like that is king. However, when you get onto what you might call a good British A-road, twisty biker's road, you'll find that the DR350 is king. And because it's only on the long motorway stretches where, of course, it's lacking, where it just hasn't got the oomph to keep up. You know, you can't cruise at 80 on a 350. Well, so that's where it's lacking. And so we'll see today if I'm at the back of the pack or if it's tortoise and hare.
I think this could be very interesting. We've got 150 brake horsepower multi-stride, the new KTM 1190 Adventure. We'll be hoping our cameraman can keep up on the Explorer because he's going to have a job to do. So should we go out there and ride some bikes?
Let's go.
Half a day done, we've stopped off for a bit of lunch here at the pub and we've just waved goodbye to the rest of the gang so me and Austin can have a bit of a catch up, because Austin, last time we saw you, you were just preparing, and it was literally 24 hours before you left, to head out on Mondo Sahara, your latest adventure. How'd it go?
It was...
You're still here, that's the important thing.
Yeah, we all survived and everything. It was a spectacular success in that, given that we've just a load of ordinary guys, we've got proper full-time jobs we're trying to hold down. We had a dream to do this ambitious trip into the Sahara, and we did some planning and it worked. That was great. We had a couple of injuries. My bike broke down, but we managed to repair it in the field. It was only a 4-week trip.
Yeah. The
whole emphasis, the credo of Mondo Sahara was I wanted to demonstrate what an exciting, an elaborate and an exhilarating trip one could achieve in just 4 weeks.
So let me get this right again and recap this, because there were 7 of you on Honda XR400s and you had a bit of a unique way of restocking at night, didn't you, in the desert?
Well, the idea was that the first half of the trip, the first 2 weeks, we made our way off-road as much as we could across Spain, Morocco and Western Sahara until we entered Mauritania, a little town there called Nouadhibou. There we hooked up with a guy called Richard Kempley from a company called Beast of Burden. He'd been out there for the 3 weeks before we'd arrived, doing a kind of 1,000-mile arc into the desert in his Land Rover, burying food, fuel and water about every 80 to 100 miles. And so we met him. He'd completed that journey. He'd left a breadcrumb trail on his GPS track log. He gave it to us, not me, I'm an idiot, but Paul Castle, the IT guy, he gave it to him. He did all the wizardry with the GPS and the Apple Mac and all that stuff. And then off we went, and we literally just followed, we kept going. It was total Pirates of the Caribbean, just kept going across the sand until we got to X marks the spot.
Well, I think it's a big thing, having known you for a while now, Austin, and talking about the Adventure Mondo Sahara, is that for you, adventure motorcycling is not getting on a bike and riding on the trodden path or even roads or motorways. It is literally putting yourself in a situation where you don't know what's going to happen, isn't it? It is proper adventuring, as the true meaning of the word almost.
Well, Luke, I'm not sure if I can add to that. You've summed it up perfectly. I would suggest that when Chris Scott coined the phrase adventure motorcycling, what he meant was motorcycling in a country, but more accurately, a continent that you're not used to.
Yeah.
Where you don't know what's going to happen. And I don't mean like, I don't know what's going to happen in an hour. You know, I might be at some traffic lights, or I might be at McDonald's, but you know what I mean.
But we can, if we run out of fuel, we'll be able to walk to a petrol station.
Yeah.
We know there's going to be a pub or a restaurant somewhere to get, or a shop to get food, because we're in civilized Surrey.
Adventure motorcycling means that you're outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that means that not only do you not know what's going to happen, but more accurately, if something bad happens, then you're probably going to have to do something unusual to solve whatever the bad thing is, whatever the problem is. And that's therefore why I would suggest, with no unkindness intended, that adventure motorcycling can't really take place in first world countries.
You don't just do it yourself, you curate a film festival, don't you, where you bring together some of the best films from around the world about adventuring, don't you? Adventuring.
It's my wife and I, Lois Price and I, run.
Who herself is a travel writer, isn't it? And
Oh, totally. She's the female motorcycle travel writer. I would say. I mean, she's got an excerpt of her most recent book, Red Tape and White Knuckles. That's in the New York Times this week as we speak. That's pretty.
You
know, I mean, who else is getting that? For somebody who hasn't got celebrity cachet.
Yeah.
It's through the sheer quality of the writing and the quality of the adventure. One woman on her own on a 250 riding from London to Cape Town, across the Sahara, then west coast through Angola, Congo, all that stuff.
Incredible, isn't it?
You know, celebrities don't go there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see why you two are together. But you do. Well, this festival comes up. It's in August, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like a rock festival type thing, same kind of format, but instead of it being bands that you see, you're watching adventure travel films.
So all this is going on. Mondo Sahara will be coming out, I believe, will it not, as a film? Now, I know there's going to be a premiere in London in October.
Afraid so.
Which,
I may say afraid so because most people watching this won't be allowed to come to it.
Yes, I'll be trying to blag myself into that one.
But the DVD, the Mondo Sahara DVD will be out in autumn, and I mean, the idea is that it's the most inspirational film I've ever made. I want people to go adventure motorcycling, and they don't have to buy an adventure bike for that, or they don't have to buy a bike with the word adventure in it.
Yes.
But my mission is to get every normal person to go off and do something, really unusual with some mates, not on an organised tour.
And as you say, you don't need one of these bikes behind us, but we must point out these have been a lot of fun today, and I think we've had some fun with your DR350 as well. We even got you at one point onto one of the bigger bikes. But I'm a little bit worried because it's starting to rain. We should probably get going again.
The adventure begins.
The adventure begins right now. It isn't really adventuring in the truest term of the word. We're just going to head down the A272 for a bit, maybe turn a left at the roundabout, and then head back to the P&H Motorcycles. But for me, it's an adventure. We'll have fun anyway.
Sad that they're gone. The 7 strong machine made it sound good.